Hello, vinyl community. I'm Gary, and this is Physical Format Rock and Roll. Thank you so much for tuning in. I always appreciate that. This is a contest contest entry video for MGK Boston. That would be Mike. Now, he's got a contest. It's called his Push to 400 Subscribers with Mike and Patty. He did this contest with his wife. It's fantastic. I love the idea. Now, I can either get one entry or three entries. I want to get three entries. And to do that, I had to have a guest. My guest today is the lovely Mrs. Physical Format Rock and Roll. This is my wife, Amy.
Hello.
So his contest is all about showing, well, first let me say, we watched Mike, PC31, the vinyl policeman, and his wife, Karen, did an entry for that. And
Karen, you did a great job.
I had
Patty set the bar high for all of us. Karen did a great job, and here I am.
Yes, if it wasn't for those two, she never would have done this, because
No.
I try to get Amy on with me a lot, and she normally refuses to do it. She doesn't like to be on here, which I understand. If I had my way, she would be on here a lot more. But anyway, thank you for coming on. I know you don't like doing it.
And let me just say, I look forward to seeing Jeff and Julia Witcher on here.
That's a challenge.
Sorry, Julia.
That's a challenge right there. So anyway, we'll try to get through this. We changed it just slightly, but he said, like, pick somebody, spouse, friend, whatever, who you love, you admire, and everything. Of course, I love my wife and admire her quite a bit. And anyway, it's maybe their musical taste isn't quite the same as yours. Maybe they have certain artists that they like that you're not really fond of. So, she doesn't really have any artists that I hate per se, but she picked a couple that she thinks maybe I don't like that well. And the first one you picked is...
Well, let me just say, I love 90s country. I loved 90s country. I loved 80s rock, but in the 90s, all I listened to in the 90s was country. And, a rock guy here, it took a little bit for him to come around. But anyway, one of my favorite artists of the 90s is Tim McGraw.
Right. And Tim McGraw, who I like as a person quite a bit. I like Tim McGraw himself. I could totally hang with that guy. Yes, I think he's awesome.
He is.
And, one of her favorite...
And his wife's not bad either, right?
Right, yeah. Well, obviously she likes Tim McGraw because of the way he looks, too. Just that's got to be... That's part of it, I mean...
Part of it. But
I
love his music.
Yeah. And
love his music.
And he is a talented guy. It's just he's got certain songs I'm not a fan of. Your favorite album is probably Everywhere.
Yes.
It's got what's the duet?
It's Your Love.
It's
that
Your
was
Love.
their favorite, or that was their first duet.
Yep.
His first duet with Faith.
And we saw
and
them
I
in
loved
concert.
him and Faith. Love them. Yep, we've seen him in concert.
So anyway, that's
He did go to the concert with me. It helped that Faith was there.
It did. That was the first show at Nationwide Arena.
Yeah.
Not that anybody cares, but anyway,
Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio.
That was quite a few years ago.
Yeah.
So
it was the very first concert.
Yeah. That's Tim McGraw, and the next artist that you picked is
Colin Ray. Now I know there's probably most of the people watching may not have ever even heard of Colin Ray, but if you have not heard of him, please check him out. Now I sound like Gary. Please check him out.
Please check out this.
He just had the best songs, the best country songs, the best songs of the 90s. Love Colin Ray.
And
I may have even stalked him a few times.
Yeah, we have seen Colin Ray many times, and she's seen him, quite a few times just by herself or with friends or whatever. And
yeah, there was a span of like 8 days, 2 weekends where I saw him 3 times within 8 days. Yeah.
So
I may have stalked him a little. found the hotel he was staying in.
She did the whole, you know, she was
saw the
pretty.
restaurant he ate at the next weekend. Yeah,
She was-
I kind of stalked him a little bit.
She was sneaky. She kind of did like the kind of stuff maybe I would do. She talked to the drummer
I did.
from the band and said, "Hey, where's he going to be hanging out?" and all that kind of
And
stuff.
he told me.
Yeah.
I didn't even think. I figured he was lying. I figured he was just trying to throw me off. But no, it was real. I found the hotel he stayed in. Of course, I just drove around the parking lot and saw that he was there. I was too scared to go in, but
Well, I hope you wouldn't go into his hotel.
well, no. But just, by the off chance that I would see him. But no, thought about it, but didn't do it.
So,
But anyway, I love Colin Ray. Please check him out. He has amazing songs.
and then an artist, because of country, like she said, I got into a lot of country artists in the 90s. One of the ones that I fell in love with, so this is the opposite. I fell in love with it. She doesn't like him. She'll tell you why. And that is Dwight Yoakam. I love Dwight Yoakam. Big fan of his. This was an album given to me by my good buddy Chris Brophy, by the way.
I know, and I love Chris. I'm sorry, Chris.
But
It is not his music. I like Dwight Yoakam's music. I just can't stand his voice.
she's not a
I
fan
can't
of
stand
his
his
voice,
voice.
which I
I'm
get.
not a fan of his
And
voice.
I get that. I'm not way with a lot of artists. I'm not way, like I said, that's why there's a lot of newer heavy metal from the last 25 years or whatever that I just can't get into because I don't like that style of singing. For me, metal was all Priest and Maiden and stuff. And that's why anytime I get into metal now, it's usually female singers because they don't do that gravelly Cookie Monster vocals. So I get it. You can like the music and not the vocals. So
I do.
got no
It's just
problem
his
with it.
voice. I'm
But
sorry.
now a couple things that I wanted to throw in here was a couple of artists that I probably wouldn't like if it wasn't for Amy liking them and kind of introducing me to them. And the first one is
Lori Morgan.
Lori Morgan. So Lori
Love
Morgan
Lori Morgan.
is a
She has
singer.
the most beautiful voice.
Started in the late 80s, I think. We became fans of hers in the 90s. Got a great voice. And
We've also seen her several
oh yeah,
times.
we've seen her several times.
Met her.
We just saw her a couple years ago or so.
Mhm.
That was an album that we had an autograph, so we got to see her. She hung around after the show for a minute. Just
Another beautiful 90s voice.
yeah, never would have gave that artist a chance, but now she's got a lot of songs I like. And then a newer one that I know I never would have paid attention to this particular artist if not for her. And
I just happened to hear her on my Shania Twain Pandora radio. I heard a couple of her songs, and now she is like my favorite.
this is Carly Pierce, and this is
An amazing album.
yeah, this is her best album. This is her latest one. What's it called? 29.
29.
Written in Stone. So this is an artist that like I said, I don't think I would have.
I cannot
Yeah.
recommend this album enough.
She really loves her.
I
And
love this album. I love her. I cannot wait to see her. I
And
want
we've-
to see her in concert.
yeah, I want to see
Love
her.
her.
We've got other CDs of hers. This is the only thing we have in vinyl. We got CD too, but I think because she does a duet with Patty Loveless on this album, who's one of my all-time favorite country artists.
That's what drew him.
Yeah.
That's what drew him in.
So I'm like, well, let me hear this again, because she kept playing it. At first I wasn't paying attention,
I
but
love her.
I love that song. Oh, well, that's one of my favorite singles of the year. But then I ended up liking all these other songs too. So I really like
It's a
Carly
great
Pierce
album.
now. Yeah.
Great album.
So,
29.
29, Written in Stone.
Written
Now,
in Stone by
that-
Carly Pierce.
the next, it says show a Christmas album. Well, we're not really too big on too many Christmas albums. We've got some, but we didn't really play a whole lot. I don't know, played some other stuff. But this is one. This is a 45. This is by the Surfer Jets. You can see there, they did a song that they wrote on their own called Marshmallow March, which is very Christmas sounding. And then they did a remake of All I Want for Christmas. We're showing this because we saw the Surfer Jets this year up in Cleveland at the Beachland Ballroom. And I give all the credit in the world to Amy because she didn't want to go because
I didn't.
because
Once I heard that It was all instrumental.
Yeah.
What?
She's
We're gonna go to a concert.
she didn't like the idea of that, but you know, here's what's great is she went. We loved it. We had a great time. I went and saw him again with our brother-in-law. And that's where I got the Christmas 45. But
Yeah.
she would see him again.
Them. I highly recommend the Surfrajettes. They are so talented.
Yeah.
And
instrumental surf rock.
Instrumental surf rock. And it was great.
And they're nice.
It was a great show.
It's a fun show.
They're so talented. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. I love them too.
Yeah, their guitar players are excellent. The way they play with each other, they're back and forth.
Oh yeah.
Now the last thing he said is to show a concert DVD. So we picked "Come On America" 2003 by Sheryl Crow. Now, because we picked this one. So first, she was touring off the album "Come On, Come On," which in my mind was probably the last great Sheryl Crow album. She's put out a lot of great songs and everything since then. It's just I feel like she hasn't put out as many complete albums as she did from this back, because like in this time period, everything Sheryl Crow did I loved every album. And anyway, we were at this show. Okay, they actually filmed this over 2 nights in Dayton, Ohio, and we went on the second night and they were filming. They said they didn't get enough good stuff on the first night and they had issues. They were filming again. So we were there for the second night when they were filming, and it was really cool because you kind of got a behind the scenes kind of thing. First of all, the show was great. Sheryl and her band, she always has a great band. They were all talented. She's awesome. Great songwriter. She's just amazing. So
we agree on that.
Yeah. And so anyway, like some of the behind the scenes stuff was them stopping a little bit every now and then. But then when they were done, so the whole show was done, and then the announcer guy comes out and he goes, "So listen, we're going to have to refilm a few songs because like they didn't, evidently there was like some mistakes or something, which we didn't notice. But they wanted to refilm
when you're seeing it live, you just
exactly. They wanted to refilm it for the video, so they came back, did a couple songs. One of them was "Safe and Sound," which is off of this album here, and it's a very dramatic, kind of slower song. And the fact that they did it again and still brought the same intensity was just, I was like, wow, it's amazing how they could just pull that out and do that. Yeah. And then they also did, and I'm pretty sure they did, she did "Rock and Roll" by Led Zeppelin for an encore, and she jumped up on the piano, she's dancing around, she changed outfits like a couple times or something. And
it was awesome.
It was cool. And now the other cool part about it, and I'm going to try to have this on here at some point while I'm talking. We're actually in the video. You can see us barely. You'd never be able to see us if we didn't tell you. I'm showing it on here. I'm trying to edit a clip where you can kind of see the two of us. Of course, granted,
when we watch it at home, we have to pause to see.
This was 20 years ago almost, right? So we're going to look a little different,
One of us is a little thinner.
I don't have gray. But anyway, that's on there during the song "Soak Up the Sun." We were in the front row, but we were at stage left. And it was
just out of camera view.
Yeah, so many times you see all these camera shots of the audience, and it's like, here's the screen, and we're right here.
Yeah.
So you don't see us, but they happen to scan over us a few times, and so we're on there. You can see us. So this is probably our favorite because we were there. I mean, how many times were you at one of these concerts where they film it? And it was a great show, so we loved it.
It was.
So anyway, hey, that's our contest. Thank you very much for being on here. I appreciate it. I know you don't like being here. So the main thing is, hey, go support MGK Boston.
Yes.
Mike, go watch the video that he and Patty did. It's a great video. Make your own video, please.
Oh, and Patty, let me just say, Air Supply, hello. One of my lifetime, all-time favorite bands.
And we've seen them a couple times. We're going to be seeing them again.
And we're going to see them again. Yes.
So, anyway,
yes,
love
them.
Yep. There you go. Go support his channel. Give him a sub. And I'm Gary.
I'm Amy.
And until the next time, my friends,
We'll see you down the road.